Hi guys, it's Gav here in the hill, and today I wanted to talk about deep healing friendship. First of all, I'll just show you where I am and what the scene is. Yeah, so it's Loch Leven down there. Got this amazing meadow pipit behind me. Hang up. Wonderful sound. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about this quality of deep healing friendship, and I think it's something that's been actually stolen from us as human beings. And it's not always easy to understand exactly why this quality of deep healing friendship has been stolen. I think one reason is it has a lot to do with our egos and the way we relate to each other, and when we think we're right and the other person's wrong, and that kind of sense of alienation, or worse than that, where you want to go to war with a person because of the difference. I think it has a lot to do with these aspects of human relationship. And these things, even if you suppress them, they can come up unconsciously. They would come up unconsciously if you suppress them. And if you can kind of work with them in a open, forgiving way, help shift them. But it's not always the case. Sometimes they're really persistent. Sometimes you're occasionally lucky and you can work through it with a person that you're having a difficulty with. That isn't always the case, because quite often they feel blamed. Anyway, I don't want to go into the theory of a negative relationship. I'm sure we've all been there, got the t-shirt and experienced it in one form or another. I think the question is how you deal with it. That's a good question. It'd be great to hear your comments on how you deal with difficulties in relationships. I know at the time when they come up, quite often they seem impossible to deal with. They certainly do for me in a lot of cases, and unless I'm used to working with it, or you go back to a kind of default way of working with it. Anyway, the whole thing's connected to this amazing art of the social and how to work with it in a way that's truly constructive. I think one of the things that comes up is really allow yourself the time to do your own inner work, because it's only through that quality of transformation that you can move forward in personal relationships. And that has a lot to do with this epidemic of aloneness that we're experiencing in our time. So many people are alone. And how aloneness actually, if you don't deal with it in the right way, an accepting way, and go through the kind of eye of the needle, as it were, and you try and kick back and avoid it by using noise and what have you, there's a tendency for it to be the experience to be very negative and even detrimental to your physical health. So I would highly recommend, in my experience, is to go into it go into the aloneness. Don't be frightened of it. And then you come to a place where you actually begin to enjoy it, and connect with that kind of inner quality of inner peace within yourself when you're in it, instead of trying to escape from it. I'll just show you the scene again, because it's changing all the time. Quite beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, this art of aloneness definitely has a lot to do with it. And I think with that, the hardest person to live with is actually yourself. So it's doing that inner work where your internal dialogue is like helping yourself instead of destroying yourself. And these are all really important things. But I'm talking about the next stage from that, which is when you've done a lot of that work and you've moved into it and you've really embodied a lot of it, then the next stage is to develop real healing, intimate friendships. And when I say intimate, I don't mean in a physical sense. I mean in a deep, connective, communicative sense, and embodying that quality of depth in conversation, in communication, and also embodying deep listening. And I think the other thing that is important is to actually, really think about it and go into the difficulties of communication, like really go into what it means to listen well, and use all these different techniques and ways of helping healing communication through insights from counselling, Scott Peck community building, talking stick circles, and non-violent communication, where you really have this, use pure observation, work with the feelings separately, and connect them in a way that's helpful, so you're not kind of blaming the other person for your own inner process, realizing that you have the choice. You can decide how you feel about the situation. And it's that's what I'm talking about right there, is like kind of going into it in a really deep way, and then through that really working on yourself so you can create a shift, and then really developing these one-to-one deep friendships where you can have really transformative, meaningful conversations. I would call them Goethean conversations. And what I mean by that is it just includes all these different processes that are available through counselling, actually doing the work and all the courses on these other things to find out the difference and how to work with these boundaries much more consciously, because it's so easy through conversation and communication to get upset and not even realise you're upset, and all this unconsciousness stuff comes up. It's a real minefield of anything can happen at any time. Even when you're not expecting it, something can come up with somebody, and then it's finding a way of dealing with it that really helps heal and purify the situation so you can work through it. And so I want to invite you to sign up to the Facebook group on deep friendship. And I'm not talking about, the necessarily deep friendship as in relationship, but it does go into a lot of these aspects of connecting. So it is about sharing yourself honestly and intimately, and all these other things that I've mentioned. And it's finding people that are willing to do that work, because a lot of people just are not willing to do it. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description below to the Facebook group, and also I'll leave a PDF on the basics of what I mean when I say deep friendship and what's expected in the through the process of the conversations, and how to cultivate that. Because when you're just starting out, there's so many different factors to consider that you really need to put boundaries in place, like what time are we going to start and finish it, and how long are you going to speak, and how long am I going to speak for, and all these type of things before they can become balanced unconsciously. So I'll leave a link to that PDF and a link to the Facebook group. So I look forward to seeing you in the maybe in person sometime. That'd be great, meeting up for a conversation. In sunny Scotland, and or maybe developing this quality of friendship, this transformative quality of friendship. Anyway, remember to like and subscribe and share, and I'll just show you, because the sun's beginning to come out, I'll just show you the scene now, changed again. These are the Paps of Fife over there. That's the bishop in the cloud there. Scotland's Well down there in the Loch Leven. So, right guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.